Hey everybody, my name is Jennifer. This is Metatron speaking. I have two different visions that I experienced recently involving merpeople, and so I wanted to share that with you. I'm kind of shocked that there are so many different planets with so many different types of merpeople on them. In my mind, it was just going to be like one planet. And so it's actually ended up being many, many, many. Trying to think where I've seen them already. I've seen them on um, Sirius B, the water planet. I've seen Mintonkin merpeople, which is part of the Orion constellation. And then now I'm going to be showing you um, from the Pleiades, and I think also from Andromeda, if I can remember correctly. So check this out. Okay, so the first one is from Maia, one of the Pleiadian planets. And so I was actually, it was my first time doing a Mayan, Mayan, that sounds like I'm saying something I'm not. It was my first time doing a Pleiadian light code from Maia, is how I should word it so that I don't confuse anybody. Um, So they came to me as a collective, and so I could see them as like a single bluish white light. And it looked like we were kind of like traveling light speed through all of these stars. And the stars started blurring around me. And I could see this like reddish brown planet. And I knew that they had taken me to Maya. So this whole thing was actually kind of unusual for the way that I typically have a vision. Um, they typically let me experience a lot of things firsthand. A lot of this was almost symbolic, or there were added layers of meaning going on. I'm just going to kind of read it to you how it happened. So I saw this reddish brown planet, and it starts spinning like faster and faster, making a new energy field around it that now includes me. The air feels denser now. I hear a pipe organ and a high frequency note that's being held. So this is kind of normal for me as far as whenever I am transmitting a light code from whatever group I'm working with to, whatever client I'm working with. Um, I'm able to hear it as a sound, not just feel it and or see it. So I could hear it as like a pipe organ and a high frequency note. I see the colors now, rainbow colors, but lots of blue, periwinkle, yellow, green. I'm dropped down into an ocean, the Maya Ocean, which was really cool because I don't know why. Every time I see an ocean on a planet, I get really excited. So I think I just had a lot of mer person lifetimes and I really enjoyed them, or just really into sea life, I guess. So I'm dropped down into this ocean, and these tiny yellow glowing lights approach me. They have what look like wings to propel themselves through the water. I can't see their bodies, but I know that these are ocean fairies. I don't have any more information on it. It's literally just what I saw really quickly, so something I'm going to have to go back to eventually. They surround me around my head and body and legs and feet. They start changing colors, and the colors ripple across the group of them the way LED lights do. So it's like the color would start changing up here and it would just ripple all the way down. They were linked together. They are connected to each other as a group. Each color they turn gives off a certain energy, and I can feel the different energies in different places on me. They are never all the same color at once. Instead, the color moves with a certain pattern, with a certain purpose. Out of my arms and torso, and this is what I'm talking about where there's like more meaning going on. Out of my arms and torso grow roots. They bury themselves in the sea floor, and my neck stretches up until I see that I am a tree, still underwater. I have branches like a willow, swaying in the currents. Sea dragons come to me. Proper sea dragons. They look like cat-sized seahorses with dragon arms that they use to swim forward. They have tiny claws and a face more like a dragon than a seahorse. They use their tails to curl around the branches, and they sleep in the trees, swaying like right side up opossums with closed eyes. So it's hard to explain, but they've got their tail wrapped around a branch, and they're just like upright, and they're just kind of moving with the current, but attached to that underwater tree. Little bivalves, which I don't know why they gave me the word bivalves. It's like a sciencey term for like a little clam, little oyster or mussel. So little bivalves open and close quickly in the current to navigate themselves through the water. They land at the base of the tree and bury themselves in the sand. They create pearls from the sand, which is something we're familiar with. They create pearls from the sand, and as they complete a pearl, they spit it out with a connective string. So like this little clam like buries itself in the sand, and once it's done making a pearl, it kind of spits it above the sand, but it's still hanging onto it with this string. And then it just keeps going and making more pearls. And so it's like these pearl necklaces that are upright coming out of the sand, almost like plants. Um, yeah, so they do this many times with the pearls. So there are these different length pearl necklaces basically peeking out from the sand. There are different colored pearls. I'm drawn to the blue ones. I ask Raw, so I'm like in the middle of this vision. I'm like asking Raw if I can like take some. And he says yes. And so he releases me from being a tree because I don't know if you remember, I grew roots and I like my neck stretched up into being a tree, and so he released me from being a tree, and I took the form of a merperson, and he's like let me go get the pearls, and so I picked blue pearls for myself, and this was actually a light code that I was sending to my real life sister in this lifetime. And so I was asking him, what color should I get from my sister who I was here to do work for? And so he told me the lavender ones. He tells me to take the whole strand, not just one. So I like pluck them out of the sand without disturbing the little clam that it was attached to. And then Ross shows me how to like make a necklace, like how to loop off um, the ends. And he actually had me tie these like little tiny fish bones to each side. So they were like these little tiny fish ribs. And so they were kind of like hooks. And so I tied one to each side and it's like they would hook together for the necklace. I look down at myself as a mer person and I see that my skin is like a really dark brown color. So if this was Earth, we would consider this to be like African or African American if you're in America. So my features are what we would think of as African American. My hair is black, but the only difference is that the hair was different. So normally African hair is like kinky, and it wasn't. It was like very straight, very thin. Um, so my eyes are blue, and the necklace I have now matches them. I can see my fin is the same light blue color with an iridescence to it, almost like a shell or a pearl. I ask Ra if I should give my sister her pearls, and so I'm working with her like energetic body, and he tells me yes, so I do that. I can see that I have a necklace around my forehead with like one white pearl that is like a teardrop shape in the center, and I'm told like this is common jewelry for a mer person to have on this planet. I'm wearing a bracelet that is woven with a thin, fibrous plant material. It is glowing green. Ra wants me to make one of these for my sister. I ask him where it grows. I see an underwater rock formation. There is a green, glowing vine attached to it, branching out in many directions. The green glow, the power, comes from these rocks. The energy is soaked up into the vine from the connective roots. These rocks are prophecy stones, like these massive prophecy stones. Oh, shoot, I should have brought some to show you guys. So, like here on Earth, prophecy stones are like, oh, this big, depends on what size you get them, but they're not like boulders. I did see massive prophecy stones in a vision on Ghana, and the same kind of phenomenon was present there, where in that case, it was actually the rocks themselves, because I take it back, they weren't massive, but the rocks themselves glowed green. And they were very, very magical. And I remember we were like making bracelets with them on that planet and giving them out as gifts to like galactic visitors that were like high profile. Um, so it's interesting that these were on Ghana, the blueprinter planet. And then again, I'm seeing them as part of the Pleiades. Um, but in this case, it's the actual plant that is glowing, not the rocks, as far as I can tell. So I pull like 3 little vines from off of these rocks and I weave them together into this little bracelet, and I tie a knot at the end to hold the kind of the braid, and then I leave some extra vine on both sides so that it can be used to tie. I ask Ra for understanding of the pearls in the bracelet. The pearls from this planet carry intense energies, more so than Earth. He shows me that there are 5 moons on Maia, each emitting a different kind of energy that is absorbed by the pearls during times of moonlight. He shows me 5 elements: fire, land, water, air, ether, each of these from a different moon, giving these pearls an energetic completeness not frequently found. Pearls are a source of intuition and inner wisdom. They are balancing, and these ones in particular hold a depth and mystery. Their color influences their energy. So the blue ones I got were focused on speech and communication, which is appropriate for what I do. I need all the help I can get. And then the lavender ones for my sister were more focused on like divine wisdom and magic energy. So she got those. The glowing green vines are magical, but with a distinctly galactic feel to them. It feels powerful and like it is a kryptonite for something, is the information I'm channeling. And so I can tell it's galactic from holding it, from looking at it, and I can also feel that it's protective against something. Something. It's kryptonite. I don't know if you guys know that reference or not, but it's basically like it's like the Achilles heel for something. So I'm told while I'm doing this that it's actually helpful against black magic. It is the perfect amulet against black magic. So this is important for my sister to have, because she, like anyone who has a history with magical lifetimes in their past or in their present, in their current, either way, when you have lifetimes where you practice magic, and it doesn't matter if it's white magic, you have a bunch of lifetimes where you practice white magic, well, you've been kind of like a beacon in those lifetimes for dark energy, because they are irritated by the light, and so you kind of stand out to them in a bad way. So because of that, people who have practiced magic in past lifetimes are more prone to suffer from black magic attacks because they are more likely to have interacted with other beings who were practicing magic in a dark way. And so, because of that, this was very appropriate for my sister to give her some protection against black magic. Um, Okay, so that's the end of that lifetime. I want to tell you about one other lifetime. See if I can find it. And it was crazy because I wasn't trying to channel. I wasn't trying to have a vision, and I always, almost always have to like really tune in to pick it up. I was sick. We've had like a cold going through our house again. And I was just laying on the couch and I, couldn't really do much because I was just really fatigued. And when I was laying there, I just started seeing another lifetime. And so I was remembering being a mermaid in fresh water, and I was with Archangel Michael. So part of me kind of freaked out because I'm like, oh, is this going to be a traumatic lifetime? So I asked right up front, and Metatron was like, it's going to be fine. So I was like, okay. So the water, this fresh water where we were was the most amazing and it just mind-blowing thing. It was so clear. It was so crystal clear. There was no murkiness whatsoever. Um, it was almost as if there was no water at all because it was so clear. Um, so I could see like the different color algae growing on the, I want to say ocean floor, but it wasn't an ocean. We actually were in a lake, basically, on the lake floor. So there was like um, white and red and green algae. And I remember thinking and knowing the algae is magical, the water is magical. And so, as merpeople, we didn't speak, everything was telepathic. Actually, I take that back. We didn't speak verbally and we didn't speak telepathically, which was like super weird because everywhere I go, it's telepathic. Um, so we actually mimed to each other, if that makes any sense. Like, kind of point at things and smile and just like kind of act out stuff, but we didn't, there was no language. And so we were young. Whoever Michael was in that lifetime, he was a male, he was young, he was all smiles. He had like this beautiful, like boyish smile. I think we were teenagers. He had like brown curly hair, thick eyebrows. He was like really thin. Um, I remember we were really close face to face, and like bubbles had come up and they had caught on his eyelashes. And so I was like getting the bubbles out of his eyelashes, but it's like everything was so crazy clear. Um, it's a really high vibrational water that we were in. Um, Very wholesome, very magical, very like almost angelic because I just didn't feel any darkness at all, which is wild. I'll explain why later. Um, our tails were like dark green, almost black. The ends of our tails were like really elaborate. They were kind of like scalloped or lacy looking. Um, it made me think of a Hans Christian Andersen fairy tale type of vibe, which is just crazy. I hold his hand when we swim, and that feels like everything. I feel so connected and so supported and safe holding his hand. This is a lake that we live in. It's perfectly crystal clear, impossibly clear. There are leaves at the bottom of the lake from the trees that surround it. I am told this is a place on Lior in the Andromedan Galaxy. So, Lior is I've told you guys about that planet one other time. So that's where I met Anne Leon, who is a male, brown skin, Asian looking guide who we had like we had like fried rice and egg rolls, and there was like a beach, and there was like this mountain with this like his um tribe or community at the top, and he took me to like caves with like crystals in them. So that's what I've seen of Lior, although I was aware that this was like one very small piece of it, and that it's basically like Earth, where there's all these different flavors of environments. They told me that there's a portion of Lior that is very like modern, um, and has technology, but they didn't show that to me. And so this lake with these mermaids in fresh water is somewhere on this planet. So in the Andromedan Galaxy, which it would be 7D. So as mermaids, we eat the algae. So I was laughing. I was like, well, no wonder the water is so clear. We're like those fish in the fish tank that eat the algae, and so we keep it all clean. Um, so I was laughing, but we're very joyful, we're very playful, like we're just like children. Um, it's our vibration that makes this water so magical. The water takes on our vibration and amplifies it. So we're on a 7D planet. Him and I are higher than a 7D vibration. And because of this water amplifying our high vibration, it's actually 12D water. That's the vibration of this water. So that's why I was like, this seems like heaven. This seems like archangel kind of energy where it's only good, only light. There I don't feel anything dark. It's 12D. That's why. People come to this place to take samples of the water to use for magic and healing. Like flower fairies, these types of mermaids partner for life and are very all consumed with each other, going everywhere together, working together, helping each other. I see that to reproduce, there are like these translucent white sphere eggs that are laid. Like, I mean, because we're part fish, right? So there's eggs, and then inside these eggs, it's like a human fetus, but it's half human and it's half, it's mermaid, right? It's merperson. So there's a merperson tail on that fetus. So we lay 2 eggs at a time. They are kept on the floor of the lake amongst the leaves that have accumulated on the bottom. And it's interesting. Our vibration is so high and we're just like so in tune with things that before they were born, like when they were just like eggs, we knew it was like a boy and a girl. And when they are born, we each hold one below us. So it's like right here against our chest. We basically hold one while we swim until they can swim as fast as us. And then when they're bigger, the 2 of them hold hands everywhere they go. Um, so it's almost like just as a mer-person race, we're all hardwired to like partner and do that hand holding thing. So, anyways, that is everything that I got from that vision. I probably need to tune into it again and get a little bit more. And I'm actually really interested about that area and that lake. I have a sense that there are dragons in that area, and I can see that they're really, I don't know how to say it, they're really bumpy, they're really spiky, they're really textured dragons. And so I need to tune in at some point and kind of feel that out a little bit more. But I at least wanted to share with you there are Andromedan mermaids and there are Pleiadian mermaids. Who knew? So if you guys have any comments, leave them for me. Oh, actually, wait. I have something I wanted to do with you guys. I want to do I want to give away a free service. And so the service that I want to give away is going to actually be the same service that I did for my sister in the beginning of this video, where I was talking about doing a Lightcode transmission. So I want to give away a Lightcode transmission service. He's telling me no for Pleiades. He wants me to give it away from the Whale Collective. So there are a few different groups that I've been able to work with to do these Lightcode transmissions. Ra and or Creator, however you want to describe him. Ra, the Pleiades, the Whale Collective, and the Dolphin Collective. So this one that I'm giving away is going to be for the Whale Collective. A Lightcode transmission is the way you would receive it would be similar to receiving like a Reiki. It would be remotely received. It's energy that is sent to you. The energy is a code. It's a language. It's something that it's a language that only certain groups and beings know how to speak. It's the language of creation. It's the language of light. And so it's a code basically that's going from them through me to you, and it's designed to activate or awaken specific things in you. So this could be gifts, this could be abilities, this could be activating a life mission that required an activation in order to kick it off for you. Um, so I want to offer this to someone. Metatron, of course, will know exactly who this should end up with. If you are interested in receiving a free Lightcode transmission from the Whale Collective, leave a comment under this YouTube video. So don't message my business. Comment here under this YouTube video and just say that you're interested in the free service, the free Lightcode, and that'll kind of enter you into this process. I'm going to let this video sit probably for about 7 days before I pick before Metatron lets me know who's going to be getting the service. So I'll announce it. Let me see. I don't even know when I'm putting out this video, so maybe I shouldn't say when I'm going to announce it. You know what? I'll probably announce the winner during the YouTube live session that I'm doing. So I have a YouTube live that is scheduled for Sunday, November 19th. And so I will announce it there, and then I'll also post it just in my community page so that whoever it is can find out that it's them. But if you're interested, leave a comment, and I will talk to you guys later. Okay, bye-bye.